Today we start this podcast with a very short lesson, people, in speaking in code. And I don't mean Charlie Oscar Delta Echo to trip up bot crawlers and algorithm word searchers. Nope. And here's today's lesson in one simple sentence. Pay attention now. When I say they, I am usually referring to Murray or his extensive family tree. Yep, his relatives. Now we've all heard statements like, well, you know what they say, and they say this, that, or the other, or they always pass laws and rules that benefit themselves. Often would respond with, who's they? Who's they who said that? Sound familiar? In past arguments or discussions you might have had or are now having? Come on, we've all said it. Well, you know what they say. Well, now you know as far as my podcasts are concerned. And it usually applies to, in general, that they deliver a lot of influence, peddle a lot of influence, spend a lot of money peddling influence, and get massive coverage of they goals. Now you know who be they. It is Wednesday, the 15th of June, 2022. Wasn't that a short lesson? Very short. I like short lessons. Okay, now people, I get it. If I tell you something, you push back. You don't believe me. Okay, fine. But when they say it, when they have to tell you what they are doing, you still don't believe them? I just don't get it. Somebody has got to explain this to me. Okay, so where are we at today? Well, anyway, red flag laws, legislation, has flown through the House. And now with 10 Republican senators, traitors, every goddamn one of them, on board with the red flag laws, it's certain to pass the Senate. And will the imposter-in-chief, will the idiot sign it into law? Well, you decide that one. I don't have a crystal ball, I've told you that. So tell me again what you think the difference is between Republicans and demon rats. Two wings of the same bird, I say. Oh, the American eagle? Oh, hell no. Two wings of the Masonic phoenix. Don't doubt me on that one. In fact, it is my pleasure to remind you, no, I wouldn't rub it in your faces, I just want to remind you, I'm too humble to rub it in your face, of Donald Trump's position on red flag laws. Quote, I prefer we take the guns first, then go to court, unquote. People, I've played that soundbite so many times on my podcast, don't make me look it up again. You know it, and you know it's true. He said exactly that. You know what he's saying. Fuck the due process clause of the Constitution. You know, the clause that for over 200 years protected people from arrest, incarceration, and the taking of their property prior to the conviction of a crime? Not just being charged with a crime, not just being arrested. Before the state can punish someone, it goes to a much higher level. It requires a conviction. Do you get it? Well, I hope you get it. Well, Trump doesn't get it, and Nancy Pelosi doesn't get it. One, a conservative Republican. The other, a mind-boggling demon rat. How can this possibly happen? Simple, people, and I told you just a few days ago. They are both communists. Oh, I know you hate to hear it. Oh, I just pissed you off, didn't I? Remember my previous podcast on the 10 steps to communize a nation according to they guy, Karl Mordecai Marx? Remember that one? Confiscation of property of immigrants and rebels. Go ahead and deny it. Ignore it. Hide your head in the sand, leaving your ass hanging out for people to play with, people to have their way with. And nowadays, that could gather quite a crowd around you, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't think I'd want my ass hanging out. But Trump and Pelosi are two peas in the same pod. Deal with it. Get over yourselves, people. Say what you want about Tucker Carlson, but on Monday, he did a damn fine job covering the insanity and the uselessness and the danger of red flag laws. I did it, but I did much earlier. Here's just a brief soundbite. And then and I mean, this is going to be brief. Oh, don't fail me now, video driver. Here we go.
So if you're actually worried about gun crimes, gun atrocities, and for the record, we are, because unlike Lindsey Graham, we actually hate violence, you would do something about this and punish the people who are committing gun crimes. But no. They would prevent you from defending your family from buying or holding guns. Why is that? Well, we don't need to guess because they're telling us. Watch what the Attorney General of the United States, and just to restate, this guy actually is the Attorney General.
Let me add here, he's also a relative of Murray's.
He's more than a craven political hack. He runs the DOJ. Watch him describe, Mr. Merrick Garland, the biggest threat facing this country today.
In the FBI's view, the top domestic violent extremist threat comes from racially or ethnically motivated violent extremists, specifically those who advocated for the superiority of the white race.
That's just a total lie, actually. And we have numbers to prove it. But you know it's a lie. There's no justification rationally for what Merrick Garland just said. It's ridiculous. It's an obvious untruth, and anyone living in a major city knows that.
Yes, anybody living in a major city definitely knows it. They know it's not the 60%ers, like Merrick Garland said. No, they know it's, well, I gotta be careful here. It's the guys that do a lot of the commercials, if you know what I'm trying to tell you here. I don't even dare tell you what percentage that is, because a bot might find me. Tucker Carlson can't. And Tucker, or maybe he won't. He won't tell you why. It's not unrealistic to them. It's part of their plan. You got to get that. Now, what did they say? They told you they identified the real enemy and the rebels who need their property confiscated. Yep, pay attention here. 60%ers and falling. I disagree with Tucker's reasoning. That's why I didn't play it to the end. You can certainly watch. It was a Monday episode. As to why, he can't or he won't tell you. But I'll tell you why they want our guns. They want us dead. I've told you this 100 effing times. And just as history repeats, how many times I've warned you to learn history or run the risk of repeating it, the very they that set up the Soviet Union in 1917, the they who set up China, I still like the way Trump says China, in 1948, they know from historical experience and a 60 million body count, it goes a lot easier if they disarm us first. Now, call me a liar, people. I've been screaming this for a long time, and still some of you refuse to believe me. Now, they are telling you also. Are you going to refuse to believe them? Why? It's simply amazing. Anyway, people, they didn't say this, but I'm going to tell you, I got stuff to do.